Welcome to the Quant Sage. If you want to know who is going to win the 2026 NBA Finals, do not look at the stats. Look at the corporate incentives. In 2026, the San Antonio Spurs will hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy. It will not be a miracle, and it will not be an accident. It will be the execution of a $76 billion corporate mandate centered entirely around one asset, Victor Wembanyama. To understand why a Wembanyama ring is a corporate necessity, you have to understand one of the greatest threats to a company's valuation: transition risk. The vulnerable period between the exit of a legacy CEO and the stabilization of their successor. For the National Basketball Association, LeBron James hasn't just been a player. He has been a blue-chip macroeconomic driver. For 2 decades, his presence has guaranteed premium ad slots, boosted secondary market ticket prices across 30 arenas, and insulated domestic merchandise sales. But as his retirement looms, the NBA is facing a monumental transition risk. Where there is risk, there is an opportunity. And Adam Silver has his next generational opportunity in front of him. The league has just secured a historic 11-year, $76 billion media rights package. To justify this valuation to their new streaming partners, the NBA cannot afford a gap in marketability. They need a globally scalable, highly liquid asset to mitigate year-one ROI risk. From a strictly financial perspective, the NBA doesn't just want Victor Wembanyama to succeed. The entire $76 billion ecosystem requires it. Historically, the NBA's broadcast ratings and associated advertising revenues suffered during superstar transition periods. When Michael Jordan retired in 1998, the league suffered a multi-year dip in casual viewership. A drop in Nielsen ratings or streaming metrics directly threatens the advertising guarantees the NBA promises to its media partners. While the league has regional stars, it requires a unifying equity, a single asset whose brand is strong enough to lift national and international broadcast ratings, regardless of the local market. Without LeBron, that baseline revenue guarantee vanishes. To understand how the league handles these financial vacuums, we just have to look at history. The NBA has a long track record of corporate market corrections. When the television ecosystem is threatened, the league's underlying machinery tends to push assets toward high-value outcomes. In 1985, during a massive revenue slump, the NBA introduced the draft lottery, miraculously landing Patrick Ewing in New York, instantly reviving the nation's largest media market. More recently, when the league's premier television franchise desperately needed a lifeline, the financial ecosystem miraculously paved the way for the Dallas Mavericks to trade Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers in 2025. That widely criticized, highly lopsided trade instantly revitalized the West Coast ad market and stabilized national ratings. The NBA has always relied on the invisible hand of business to put the right star in the right place at the exact right time. Which brings us back to the $76 billion problem. Unlike legacy cable deals, this new media package leans heavily into streaming, specifically Amazon Prime Video and NBC's Peacock. Streaming platforms measure success through subscriber acquisition cost, or SAC, and customer lifetime value. Media companies front-loaded massive capital to secure these rights. Because viewers now have to pay for multiple platforms to watch the NBA, the product must be considered a must-have. NBC and Amazon need immediate, high-engagement inventory to justify the premium they paid to their shareholders. A slow transition year delays subscription growth. The domestic U.S. market for sports viewership is highly saturated. To justify these astronomical media rights valuations, growth must come from expanding the total addressable market internationally. The NFL recognized this and launched an event-driven international strategy, spending massive capital to export physical games to Europe and South America. They used these games to force streaming adoption, most notably putting a game in Brazil exclusively on Peacock. The NBA is running the exact same macroeconomic playbook, but utilizing an asset-driven strategy. Wembanyama is a walking 82-game international event. Amazon's broadcast rights include massive international distribution. Wembanyama is a localized, highly viral asset for European markets. His success serves as the ultimate promotional vehicle to drive Prime subscriptions abroad, effectively lowering Amazon's global customer acquisition costs with almost zero logistical overhead. This brings us to a textbook high EV forecast. The NBA's new media rights agreement officially took effect for the 2025 to 2026 season. Therefore, forecasting a San Antonio Spurs championship in June 2026 is the most logical financial prediction in modern sports. Whether or not the NBA actively engineers its champions, massive financial incentives create undeniable structural tailwinds. Wembanyama and the Spurs are positioned to become the ultimate global revenue engine. The financial ecosystem naturally pushes capital toward the league's highest-yielding international asset. A 2026 Spurs appearance in the finals guarantees peak international viewership, instantly validating the media partner's year-one capital expenditure. For Adam Silver and his corporate stakeholders, engineering and capitalizing on Wembanyama's success is not a matter of basketball preference. It is the fundamental business strategy required to secure the economic foundation of the NBA for the next decade. If you want to uncover the hidden economics of the sports world and the real forces driving global financial markets, make sure to subscribe to the Quant Sage. Leave a comment below with your predictions, and I will see you in the next breakdown.